we welcome you live from Cedar Rapids Prairie High School as tonight it's Mississippi Valley Conference High School basketball coming your way here on CRM Live Sports, and a big one in the Mississippi Valley Conference as two teams, we'll say in the top 11, go at it, as it'll be the Iowa City West High Trojans taking on the number 4 rated in 4A Hawks of Cedar Rapids Prairie. And welcome in, everyone. Scott Unash alongside former Hawkeye and former state champion coach Ryan Lursman as we get ready for this one between the Trojans and the Hawks here on the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths pregame show from Prairie here tonight. And you got two teams, 16-3 between the two coming into this one. And boy, two teams that are at the top of the conference and two teams that would love to come out of here with a win.
Yeah, I think, two of the better coach teams in the Valley. Coach Rickerson, Coach Wagemeister now, adding him onto the staff has made their staff even stronger. And then Coach Bergman and Paul Runquist and Gordon Runquist, they're as good as it gets. So I expect a hotly contested battle. These are both teams that have the potential at the end of the year to make it to Des Moines. So we'll see tonight, maybe get a sneak preview of what they're capable of in a big game.
A lot of talent on the floor in this one here tonight. Starting things off with Iowa City West. Pete Moe, 24 points per ball game, 63% from the field. That is outstanding for an Iowa City West team that shoots 52% from the field. Shooting has not been a problem for West. They've given up more rebounds than Steve Bergman is wanting them to give up so far throughout the year. But you got Mo leading the way. You got, oh, by the way, Jack McCaffrey, who's a freshman, at 11 points a game. Kareem Earl, son of A.C. Earl, in there as well at 10 points a game. And then Christian Barnes is back with the team now, and the son of former Hawkeye Val Barnes. It's a who's who for West High.
It certainly is. If their dads were to play back in the mid-'80s to early 90s, they'd be pretty formidable as well. This group, as you alluded to, has maybe struggled on the glass a little bit. That's what kind of tripped them up last week in their 2 losses. And then from what I've seen on film, I think they got to do a little better job moving the ball, sharing the ball, getting that thing passed around the perimeter a little quicker. It tends to stick a little bit. So look for that maybe tonight for them to move it a little bit better. And then they got to pick up the intensity on D. Not quite as strong as what I've seen from past West teams on that end right now. But they got a lot of young guys.
Yeah, a lot of young guys. And it's a West team last year. Talking with Steve Bergman before the game, he said, we're 8 months behind because last year in the COVID year, there wasn't a team that was probably impacted more by that than West because they shut down. Shut down.
They just never got into a rhythm last year, It was new and unique and a brand new world for everybody. So, I think they're obviously off to a really good start here. Just had a slip up last week and ease the pain of those 2 home losses if they could pull the upset tonight at Prairie.
Yeah, you talk about how deep and good this league is this year, 1 through 16. And West was unbeaten, top 5 in Class 4A. Losses to 2 good teams. I mean, Dubuque Hempstead with the big in the middle with Finns in there, and then with Cedar Falls, who's been terrific as of late.
Trey Campbell had 30.
Yeah, and suddenly you're 2 games behind Kennedy and needing a win.
Yeah, I think there's been a little separation at the top. You've got Prairie, you've got West, the 2 we see tonight, and then I think Cedar Falls and Kennedy are the 2 other teams that maybe are in that top tier of teams, but there's a bunch of them behind them nipping on their heels in the Valley that obviously, like we've talked about before, you got to show up every night, otherwise you'll get upset.
Cedar Rapids Prairie 9-1 on the year, 3-1 in conference play in the Mississippi Division side of things. They are tied for the lead in the loss column with Cedar Falls and Dubuque Wahlert. And for the Prairie Hawks, it's been good, solid team basketball. Good defense with the Hawks giving up 53.1 points per ball game. Gabe Burkle has been terrific in the middle. He had a great game last Tuesday against Linn-Mar, and then the 3 guards.
Yeah, balanced veteran squad. They've got a couple good young guys as well. Doing a great job playing inside out, giving Burkle his touches and playing off of him. And then the other thing that they've done, I mean, they're a pretty good shooting team, but they're just beating people up on the glass. They're averaging 32 rebounds per game as a team, and as Coach Bergman mentioned, that's a concern for them tonight. they got to have a better effort against the glass against this Prairie team that's one of the dominant rebounding teams in 4A right now.
Yep, and for Cedar Rapids Prairie, the Hawks led by Gabe Burkle at 15 a game. Jake Walter at 13.8 points per game. Also a double-digit scorer is Elijah Ward. And got two teams that shoot it well from the free throw line. And like we said, West 52% from the field, and Prairie not too bad in their own right at 45%. So both these teams can fill it up.
Yep, any one of them is capable of having a big night on the offensive end. They've got explosive players. Prairie and Burkle, Walter, Iowa City West, and Moe and McCaffrey. I know that's a key for Prairie. They may double Moe at some times if they have to, but one guy that they can't lose is McCaffrey on the perimeter. I think he's shooting right around 50% from three, if memory serves me right.
Real 41%.
41%, but 50% overall.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, and both these teams shoot it very well from the free throw line. So if you got to come from behind, it's going to be really tough.
Very, very much so. Definitely.
West and Prairie getting set to go at it here tonight from Cedar Rapids Prairie and College Community. We will take a break and come up here and get you ready for the tip-off of this one between the Hawks and the Trojans right after this here on CRM Live Sports.
Kitchens and baths, your home never looks so beautiful. Plumbing fixtures, a great variety.
Pizzas, burgers, and fries. Whether you're bringing the whole family for a meal or wetting your whistle in our fully stocked bar, there's something to satisfy all ages and tastes at our classic American local restaurant. Need catering for your next party or event? Emos has that too. Call them for details. Emo's Hideaway, open Monday through Saturday at 4 p.m., is right next to Home Depot and across from Lindale Mall on 1st Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. Epiphany Dermatology is a full-service dermatology practice that treats all conditions of the skin, hair, and nails. Dr. John Wollner has been practicing and treating patients for over 30 years. Epiphany Dermatology has built a reputation based on reliable customer service and quality skin and hair loss treatments. Epiphany Dermatology also places a special emphasis on skin cancer prevention, screenings, and treatment. Call them to book an appointment at 363-9936 and visit their website at epiphanydermatology.com. Epiphany Dermatology, 5264 Council Street Northeast, Suite 700 in Cedar Rapids.
Back with you here at Cedar Rapids Prairie. Scott Unash and Ryan Lursman with you as we get ready for Mississippi Valley Conference boys basketball. Other games here tonight in the conference. You got Jefferson on the road at Western Dubuque. You've got a big one in Dubuque. Wahlert and Kennedy going at it tonight.
That'll be a big-time game.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hempstead is in town to take on Linn-Mar. You got Dubuque Senior at Washington. Xavier is up at Cedar Falls tonight after Xavier had to play at City High and won last night.
Yeah, that'll be a tough turnaround. They're still waiting to get Joe Bean, their talented sophomore, back. They expect him back in a couple weeks.
Then you got Liberty at Waterloo West tonight, as well as City High. They go back-to-back. They are at Waterloo East coming up this evening. Let's go ahead and set our lineups here, brought to you by Dan Hillers, the home loan experts. Downtown Cedar Rapids. Check him out online at danhillers, thehomeloanexpert.com. For Iowa City West, 7-2 on the air. They are 2-2 in the Mississippi Valley Conference. And they will go with this lineup. It will be Kareem Earl, number 24, 6'4", and a sophomore, at 10.4 points, about 3.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists a game for Earl. Jack McCaffrey, 6'8", freshman, number 22. The son, of course, of the Hawkeye coach, Fran McCaffrey. 10.7 points a game, 49% from the field, 41% from three-point range, averaging 10.7 a game. Peter Moe, the 6'9" senior, son of former Hawkeye Jeff Moe, 23.8 points per ball game, and Moe 63% from the field and 8.4 rebounds per game. Christian Barnes will be at one guard, number 2, 5'10", and a senior. Barnes averaging 8 a game, the son of Val Barnes, also former Hawkeye, and Jacob Cook, 6'4", sophomore. Cook at 8.6 points a game. He shoots 57% from 3. And the head coach for Iowa City West is Steve Bergman. We'll give you the Prairie lineup here in just a moment. But first, we honor America with the playing of tonight's and singing of our national anthem. And a terrific rendition of our national anthem.
Outstanding.
And we got the art of noise here tonight, so
it's a big game.
We have accompaniment.
You know it's a big game. We do. One of the best bands in all the state, all the land, I should say.
So we gave you Iowa City West lineup. Let's give you the Prairie lineup. Same 5 that have started the first 10 games for the Prairie Hawks. 3 guards, Elijah Ward at 1 guard, 6'2", and a senior. And Ward averaging 11.5 points per ball game, pulls down almost 6 rebounds per contest as well. Jack Wagamaster, the 6'2" junior, averaging 7.8 points a game, 49% three-point shooter. And the guard, third guard, is number 5, Jake Walter, 5'11" and a senior. Walter second on the team at 13.8 points per ball game, 36% from 3 and 3.5 assists per game. Up front, the Burkles. It'll be Reed Burkle, 6'5" and a sophomore. Burkle averaging 4.9 points, 5.5 boards a game. And the Iowa State football signee, Gabe Burkle, number 42, 6'7", and a senior. Gabe Burkle averaging 15 points per ball game. Those are your lineups. We'll take a break, come back, and have the starting tip-off for Prairie after this.
Hi, I'm Dan Hillers, the home loan expert. One of the most popular loans that we're doing right now is the cash out refinance. Think about it. Your home's value is at an all-time high, interest rates are near all-time lows. You can use that equity to pay off your credit cards, to do home remodels, or you could go on a nice vacation. See how I can help you today at hillershomeloans.com.
Spinal Corrective Center, 3800 River Ridge Drive, Northeast in Cedar Rapids. Dr. Gene Kretzinger, Dr. Janet Kuehl delivers state-of-the-art chiropractic care for the entire family. If you want to reach optimum health and peak performance levels, or are suffering from injury, pain, and other health problems, the chiropractic care they provide can give you relief and stability. Serving our area athletes for over 50 years and keeping athletes of all ages functioning at their highest performance for a winning game. Spinal Corrective Center, online at spinalcc.com. Cedar Rapids Millwork, providing outstanding service to Eastern Iowa for over 50 years. Quality products, including windows, doors, moldings, hardware, stair parts, specialties, and cabinets. Locally owned and operated, Cedar Rapids Millwork